Every video and episode of the It's Cavalier podcast is made possible by my supporters over on Patreon. If you enjoy the show here today, consider signing up. You'll get early access, exclusive videos, podcasts, member shoutouts, and more. And as always, thank you for watching. Go Cavs. The Cleveland Cavaliers need to find a way to put the ball on the floor and drive the basketball more. They got to get more from somebody in that regard, because as it stands right now, Donovan Mitchell has the most drives on the team at 51. 51. Trey Jones, just to give you an example, who has 67, has more than Donovan Mitchell, and he's played one fewer game. And that's no disrespect to Trey Jones, but there are 33 players with more than Spida Mitchell. Evan is second on the team with 47, and DeAndre Hunter rounds out the top three with 21, and he's only played 3 games. No lie, last year the Cavaliers had 4 players with at least 400. 2 of them aren't out there, that being Ty Jerome, who we all know is no longer on the roster, and Darius Garland, who may be back in about a week's time. The remaining 2 will undoubtedly finish with as much again in Mitchell and Evan Mobley, but they've got to get more dribble drives and more dribble penetration overall from somebody else. Now, Lonzo Ball has never truly been a big driver of the ball. I've said that like 15,000 times. Jalen Tyson and Sam Merrill really aren't true primary or secondary or even tertiary ball handlers, nor are Larry Nance Jr. and Dean Wade. So my vote goes to DeAndre Hunter, who I already mentioned is third at the moment through just 3 games. Now, this is a guy who has shown at the very least the ability to get to the rim at will, but has often struggled so far to knock down shots when doing so. He is completing less than 30% of his field goals off of drives at the moment. Many of these have actually been heavily contested floaters, some of them pretty ugly. Still though, and in watching the film, there is no doubt in my mind that he can in fact attack a closeout or take his defender off the dribble to get inside in ways that others on the roster just don't have the juice or the capability to do so. Now keep in mind, and I want you guys to obviously put this into perspective, right? He wasn't really used this way much with Cleveland last year. In his 27 appearances, he only recorded 97 total drives, which was 5th most on the team. He attempted 57 field goals in the process of doing that, with most of them being midi pull-ups, an area where you know he can be really dangerous when he's really on. This year, they are placing the ball in his hands more in an effort to get more out of his on-ball skill set and to provide additional on-ball creation, something that is obviously greatly needed in the absence of a Darius Garland and a Max Strus. And I have actually liked what I've seen in a small sample size in regard to allowing him to facilitate more as well. We've seen a few dribble handoffs and pick and roll sets with Hunter operating as the initiator and somebody like Allen out there roll into the rim, but we haven't had enough of a sample size to suggest that that is truly a reliable source of facilitation. Just not big enough of a sample size yet. And another possible candidate here to keep in mind is Craig Porter Jr., who is 4th in drives with 14 and is actually 4 of 4 when attempting a field goal off of them. He can put pressure on defenses with his dribble drives. It's just not done enough, and he hasn't probably played enough for it to show up in the stat sheet. Now, what he's shown you is he is able to make some beautiful reads and feeds around the rim, whether that be a dump off to a big.
Important 3-minute stretch here for the Cavaliers. They get another basket with Allen. Nice feed.
Or by hitting a cutting wing like he does with Dean Wade here, even though Dean doesn't make the shot.
Finals a couple years back. Nice cut by Dean Wade, and he's fouled on the way up by Stewart.
The moral is that we just have to get more rim pressure with the dribble penetration. It's killing me. And as things stand, the team is 27th in drives per game with an average of 35.6. That's just not going to cut it, because the offense has become way too predictable, way too stagnant, way too side to side at times throughout the course of games. And it's just hard to watch at times. If you added it, you would collapse defenses more. You would allow more space for shooters on the perimeter. It would allow for more offensive involvement with the bigs, whether that be in the DHO, pick and roll sets, or lob game. And it would open up more cutting lanes for guys like Wade, Merrill, and Jalen Tyson.
Straight regular season MAC titles as Mitchell wheels inside and finds Tyson. Oh, what a dazzling pass.
You have to go to that jump hook because the elite shot blocking.
Foul inside and count the basket for Tyson. He'll have a chance at 3.
And yes, I know that all of this sounds way easier said than done. I'm not a coach. I'm not a basketball savant, but I refuse to believe that this is something that's impossible because we've seen teams do it before when they're down their primary ball handler. And as of right now, the team is fourth in three-point attempts at 43 per outing, and they're only knocking down 35.8% of them. There's been a clear over-reliance on jumpers and the three-point shot overall, as there has been little offensive creativity and penetration. Now, that was really evident against the Boston Celtics. When the Cavaliers, right, you have a size mismatch with Jarrett Allen and Evan Mobley and just could not find a way to accurately or consistently, rather, get them the ball. And I think that with the news dropping, with Allen playing with the broken finger, that kind of gives a little bit of insight. But at the same time, there were moments during that game where I'm like, okay, if you guys can get a little bit more pressure on the inside, if you can put the ball on the floor, you can really hurt Boston here. And that just did not happen consistently. And when it did, it was a flash in the pan at times, not really something that was done enough to truly impact the game. So moving forward, I truly hope until Darius gets back, until we get Sam and Max, however long it takes for these guys to get back, I hope that they find more creative ways. And this is going to be on Kenny Atkinson and the coaching staff to get more pressure on the rim, because it cannot just be Donovan. Evan, we know what they're trying to do right now. They're asking him to become much more of a self-starter, much more of a self-creator, and it's been hit and miss. And while I do ultimately believe that is the right thing for his development, I do ultimately believe that come the playoffs, all of these things that they're trying to go through and evaluate and work their way through the process, I think it will help come the playoffs. But as of right now, you can still find ways to get to the rim while doing that, right? You don't have to consistently be lumped into force feeding Mobley these touches to ask him to be a self-creator while also ignoring the interior. It doesn't have to be that way. I feel like there's a balance that they're struggling to find, and I hope that they're able to do that soon, or we could be seeing a lot more lopsided losses like we did against Boston. Now, again, I understand it. I know, and I continue to preach the 3 E's: evaluate, experiment, evolve. This is all the type of stuff to be expected with this roster, especially shorthanded as they are. But again, I refuse to believe that there aren't ways around trying to get more dribble penetration, because they have players that have these skills. They just need to tap into them a little bit more. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. As always, go Cavs.